Guys, welcome back to the channel. 1110 here, and today we are testing out Moira on the PTR. Moira is the new character that was revealed at BlizzCon. She is a support class, and we'll go through her skill set here. First thing we look at is her shift, which is a blink forward. It will blink you in the direction you're currently moving, but is not reliable for getting across gaps. So let's try this here, but I believe we're going to die. Yeah. So we'll do a little bit more testing on that, but it's short range, and I don't think it's as far as Tracer's blink. And it doesn't carry elevation, so if I go like this and jump up, I guess it is like a more of a jump, so you do travel, but you can't go up. So let's just do another little test on the blink. Can I get over here if I jump? No. So you don't gain any elevation. You go a short distance forward and then you fall. See if we can get up to another higher area and test it in a different way. I just want to see if it will go across a certain gap, but it's certainly less. I think it's less distance than Tracer, because Tracer could get across that gap. Now you can go that way if you're higher than the platform you want to go to. So it's going to require some detailed testing on the actual maps to see where you can and can't use it. But that is blink, and if I want to blink sideways, I can blink sideways. If I want to blink backwards, I can blink backwards. It's really easy. So let's see, can I go onto that platform if I go backwards? If I want to retreat, yes, I can retreat backwards. So that's pretty cool. Her E is an orb of healing or destruction, and you choose which you want to do once you press E. So you press E, you get heal or damage, and the interesting thing is that these orbs will bounce off terrain and I believe go through shields. So let's see if we can bounce it off the ground here.
Touch from afar.
And it dissipates after a certain time. Cooldown is quite long, so let's try that again, and let's see if we can bounce it a little bit better.
My will made real. Double. You have served your
So
purpose.
you can see that it lasts quite a while. In a small space, it'll do a lot of damage. Let's see if we can send it in there. Yep. So if you've got a choke point, you want to send that through the choke point. I'm pretty sure it goes through shields. The other one is healing, which is exactly the same.
Position.
It heals anyone who it hits, and it'll bounce for a couple of seconds. That seems to go a lot. Okay, that goes for a lot longer. Can we do this in an enclosed space? See how long it bounces for? Okay. That lasts for quite a long time. Let's try that again.
This will
1,
heal you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seconds. I wonder did it die because it bounced funnily. Let's try
Get
one
into
more.
position.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so it lasts for about 10 seconds. Okay. And then this one,
I cast this forth.
that lasts for about 5 seconds. Okay. So you can do a lot of healing in a small enclosed space. And it's going to be a skill shot to a certain extent to get it to bounce the right way. I mean, in a room like the one I've just been in, it's pretty easy to get it to be consistently hitting your allies if you're all in a choke, going back and forth. There's not too many areas that I can think of directly, but it also bounces off payloads, I believe. So you could potentially hole up in the tunnel underneath Gibraltar and bounce your orb back and forth between the walls while you hold a payload. So that's interesting.
Touch from afar.
But it doesn't do a lot of damage to a target that it goes through who's not moving. So let's see here. If I put it through him,
My will made real.
it doesn't do all that much damage to a single target. So what you want to be focusing on is the right and left clicks, which I haven't looked at yet. So right click is a healing beam, and you can see here on the, it's a little bit blurred on the background there, the meter going down to the bottom. Once that goes to the bottom, you can no longer heal. You then right click
Tell me how this feels.
and you gain biotic charge, I guess is what it's called, by doing damage. Now you can hold down the button, you don't need to
Your power is mine.
you don't need to click again to keep the channel going, but it will stop if it hasn't got a target, whereas the healing will keep going regardless. So the healing does not need a target,
Injured again.
but you will have to retarget your
More.
damage.
I cast this forth.
There we go. And then her ultimate. So her ultimate is probably a good place to do it here. Is a big death beam and healing beam. So you see that character at the bottom.
Surrender to my will.
It's also healing these guys. So it'll heal allies and damage enemies. Again, perfect for breaking a choke point. I mean, you couldn't even ask for more. It goes through shields, it goes through allies, through enemies, to just hopefully clear out that choke completely. So I think this character is really well designed. Hopefully isn't going to be broken in the meta, and hopefully will fall right into space for maps that need to break a choke. The old Eichenwald comes to mind, but they've changed that since. So I mean, any place that has a difficult choke to manage would be ideal for her, and I think she's going to be a great addition to the Overwatch roster. So yeah, we'll do some more theory crafting. Like I said, the more characters you can hit with their orbs, the more DPS you're going to do, obviously. The healing is particularly interesting because of its ability to last for so long. Let's see if we can try it here.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Just watch the way it reacts to the physics of the map. It's gone way up there.
This is my will.
I mean, that'll cause havoc in a small area. And that's actually lasted longer. Hang on, okay. So that lasted longer than the one I tested before. How does it determine how long it's supposed to last for?
Touch from afar.
Is it must be a certain amount of damage or healing that it does before it dissipates. Okay, so let's say
My will made real.
okay, so it dissipates quicker depending on how much damage it does. Now, I didn't read up on this character, so this may be obvious and it may be on the website, and it may very well be in the description of the character, but I haven't read it, so if I missed that, apologies for being an idiot. Let's see if the healing beam changes depending on how much.
This will heal you.
Healing beam, however, does not appear to dissipate depending on how much healing you do, but I guess we'll need to test that in a live environment, won't we?
Get into position.
It didn't heal very much when it passed through him. Let's try it again if we can see here.
This will restore you.
It didn't actually heal him for anything. Huh, it's not healing him. That's interesting. I wonder, is that bugged, or is it just a misunderstanding what it is? Let's have a quick look here. Launch a bouncing sphere that either heals nearby allies or damages nearby enemies, but it's not healing the bot. Huh. I wonder, is it just because it's not an actual player?
Allow me to repair the damage.
Is it not just not working on the in the training area?
This will heal you.
Yeah, it's not registering the bot as a friendly player. Well, that makes it difficult to test it. Hopefully that'll get changed. But I believe it is active in real games, so it's probably just the bot is not being picked up.
This is my will.
But yeah, that doesn't dissipate until it's done some damage, so it's got to be dependent on how much damage it does. So that's interesting to learn. It explains why I saw some orbs randomly running, flying all over the map when I did the 6v6 no limits.
The power of destruction.
Yeah, see, it's not dissipating because it hasn't done its final piece of damage. There you go. So it finally did damage at the end and it dissipated. Can I,
Double kill.
gone. No, it's way over there. Is it gonna come back to me? It would be curious if it came back off the edge of the map.
A touch from afar.
You could really, snipe somebody. It just keeps going. I wonder, is there any maps you can actually do damage from the spawn?
The power of destruction.
It's gone somewhere. I don't know. I think that pretty much covers it for her. We'll have a look at her ultimate yet again.
Surrender to my will.
So her ultimate is certainly healing. Now it lasts quite a long time. Lasts like 6 seconds, maybe 7 seconds. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to try and get a real game going. Like I said, the PTR population is quite low and the queue times are quite high, so this is the best way to get info on her for me. Hopefully she'll be launched in about a week to 2 weeks, and I can't wait to get going with her. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the live servers. Have a good night.